Hi, I'm Abby and welcome to Abby's Den. So I've decided that I have spent far too much money buying threads that I don't like and they don't give me the best performance, or I've got a little bit more money in my pocket to spend on embroidery. Now that I know I enjoy it, I'm willing to part with some more cash. So what I've done here, let me show you, is I'm going to conduct an experiment. I've gone out and bought, or rather I've clicked online and bought some threads, and I've chosen some of the more popular brands. So some of you will have heard of these, some you might not have. We've got the popular one on Amazon, which is called Bro Thread. I've put them in alphabetical order, so I'm not showing any bias to any of them. There's Gunold. Gunold is not actually sold on Amazon as far as I know. It's a company called GS UK Limited. There's Gutterman. Everybody's heard of Gutterman. We use it as a general sew-all thread, but they actually do a machine embroidery thread. Madeira is another one, which is an old favourite, very popular. Marathon is, I think it's an American one. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Then there's Multi-Talent. That's a German company. I've never heard of them before. That's a new one to me. So when I looked up on Amazon for a machine embroidery thread, that one came up as a popular one. However, saying that, I have bought some of theirs in the past, just not as an machine embroidery thread. And a really popular one is a sim thread. Now, I have used those in the past. I'm not going to give you an opinion because I want this to be a fair and unbiased experiment. Right, so here we are. So first off, I'm going to just be embroidering on this machine. Here we go, it's just setting up for me now. I'm going to go into the embroidery designs. We don't need to go into the embroidery edit. We'll just go into the embroidery designs. Embroidery designs. We don't need to go into the embroidery edit. We'll just go into the embroidery designs. And I'm going to just choose a picture. And I've had a little look around and decided on something that's festive because it's that time of year. I've got my Christmas jumper on. I'm feeling in the mood for Christmas. Let's have a look. And I came up with this one. I've chosen this Santa sleigh and I'll show you why. So I'm going to put that into the embroidery hoop. So see how these lines here are very single. I want to be able to see that my stitches come out and are vibrant and show up. So a thread needs to be able to show these single lines off. The thread also needs to be able to fill this satin stitch evenly for me. I've got lots of colouring in and I've got lots of blending going on. So I've got between the white and the pink there, I've got some blending going on. Lots more lines there and lots more colour fill in there. So I want all of this to be shown very clearly. These little dots, these features that are showing up, I want to be able to see those nice and clearly. So the thread needs to be able to embroider this well for me. So let me show you. I've got brand new needles ready for each project. I've got plenty of empty bobbins and plenty of bobbin fill for these bobbins. So for every stitch out, with every new thread, I'm going to replace the needle. I'm going to put in a brand new fully filled bobbin, and I'm going to use the same stabiliser, same fabric. So I'm keeping the experiment as fair as possible to get a good result. I'm going to make sure the machine is cleaned every single time so that the bobbin area is not dusty, so we don't use that as an excuse. And I'm going to go in alphabetical order again, not to show any bias towards any brand or against any brand. Right, let's do this. So the first one on the list is this new Bro thread. I don't know what the new part is about. In the box, I've got the list of the 40 different colours. It's a spool chart. And in theory, it should correspond with the Brother embroidery. And I just need to select the colours in the box corresponding to the machine. So let's put the hoop in first. So I've hooped my fabric, put that into the machine and select the design. It shouldn't be too small actually. and we can set that to embroidery. We know it's going to be about 5.5 centimetres by 7 centimetres tall, so it's not too small. Let's go into there, and if we go to page 8, we've got the different threads here. So we want to make sure we're using the embroidery threads. We don't want the name of the colour because on these threads they don't actually have the name of the colour, they just have the colour number. Get that in there, and that's our first colour. It feels really thin, but we're not being judgmental. As long as it does the work, we're happy. And press the foot down, let's go. So this is the filling in part at the moment, so we want a good filling in stitch. So the brother thread was sold on Amazon. I'll put the link below so you can purchase it for yourself. Each reel has 500 metres on there, so these are all 500 metres. They're not official brother thread, they do have a very similar thread name to the brother brand, and I'm thinking people might be persuaded to thinking that they've been affiliated or approved by brother. I've checked and they haven't. So you can see there, 2 more stitches and we're done, and I can release that from the machine now. And there we go. So there's the first one. It looks quite okay, not puckered too much. I'll put the name on there actually. So that's going to be Bro Thread. And let's see what it's like. Now that's not too badly puckered or anything like that. So it's come out fine, happy with that. There's our first one, done. Okay, so now let's carry on and see what the other ones are like.